Welcome back, everybody. Today I want to talk about advertising for Weiss Schwarz. Now, we have an example from Cardcaptor Sakura that just recently came out on Friday. What I want to do here is provide some constructive criticism to Weiss Schwarz. Hopefully, when they watch this video, they take that criticism and use it for future ad campaigns. Now, I know criticism can definitely feel offensive to some people. Just know that is not my goal. The whole reason for me doing this is because I love Weiss Schwarz, right? I've been doing these videos forever, and I know all of you do as well. So feel free down below after the video, you write your own opinions on what they can do for advertising purposes. I think that's the whole goal here. Let's make their limited budget as effective as possible. So now what you're going to see here is I'm going to show you the ad. I'm not going to give you any of my input. I'll do that a little bit later. What you're going to see on Facebook was Cardcaptor Sakura are now on sale from Weiss Schwarz. Click the link for the stores selling them. You can see a graphic down here of 3 SSPs. They are in Japanese. The rest of the ad is in English, and there is a link down below that you'll see for Bushi Navi. So just taking one step back, if you don't remember, Cardcaptor Sakura 25th anniversary came out on February 23rd for the Japanese Weiss Schwarz side. There is no English announcement at this point, but eventually it could be coming. Now, if you were to click that Bushi Navi link, what you're going to get is this. And I did this on my phone. It may have turned out differently if you did it on a computer. But right away, you're going to see a red message at the top of the screen that says this value is not valid. I don't know what that actually means, but that's what comes up. Now, if you take a look down below, you have to find a sanctioned store locator, which is okay, I guess. It's already automatically defaulted to United States for me. And the big hurdle here, I think, is if you'll notice, you have to select a game. If somebody just like Cardcaptor Sakura and they're seeing Weiss Schwarz for the very first time, they're not going to know really which one to choose. I guess in the end, they could figure out Weiss Schwarz, but which edition are you picking? There's two. There's an English and a Japanese edition. Okay. Now, first problem that I see here is nowhere does it say the actual language. Again, us that have seen these cards know that if you take a look, those cards are not in English, they are in Japanese. Now that's where the problem is. So remember, Bushi Navi, if you want to actually get to a place that has Japanese sanctioned games, then maybe you would have to choose that one. But just because they don't have Japanese sanctioned games doesn't mean they don't have Japanese products. I know that's confusing, but this is where imagine if you're a new person, right? And you're sitting there, you just want Cardcaptor Sakura, you saw this ad, you're like, I want to buy this. What do you do here? I guess you could select both, but you really don't know what's actually happening. It's just confusing in that way. The other part is you're providing this advertising when the pre-order date's already gone. The pre-order deadline was back on December 18th, 2023. It comes out on February 23rd. Now, if you told me this is 2 years ago during the whole boom of cards, yeah, there are sellers, stores that potentially could have purchased extra so that people can walk in the store and actually buy it. How many stores out there today are really purchasing a lot more than what is needed, what is pre-ordered? Maybe there's some that are, but how many of them aren't actually doing that? How many of these stores actually even carry Japanese Weiss Schwarz in the USA? And I'm talking specifically USA. You can talk about any country you want, but that's where I'm looking at this point. Now, thinking about this, what is Bushi Navi used for? Like, actually think about what it's used for. I'm going to flip over here. Down below, this picture is the official Weiss Schwarz English website. And that little highlighted box off to the right is the shops and distributors. You're able to pick from a list of states. I complained about this part of the web page so many times. Now, what you're going to see right here, I picked Alabama because Alabama is the very first state. And what you're going to see here is Bud's Place, and then Cardboard Gaming and Accessories LLC. Anybody that's in the state of Alabama is going to know where I'm going with this in just a bit. Now, Bushi Navi. Think about Bushi Navi. What is it used for? It's used for events mainly. You can see on this, you could pick your different game, you could pick your format, you get category, blah blah blah, and then you'll eventually get to a part where you see a bunch of locations that are holding that event for the specific game. Now, if you take a look at the different lists that I have here, the left side is the official website, which I just showed you. Bushi Navi is on the right. This is for the state of Alabama. Now, what you're going to see is the ones with in the green are the ones that match both lists. The ones in the yellow are on one list. So if you think specifically about that ad campaign that you had, if you click on it, you were sent to Bushi Navi, which if you lived in Alabama, you're going to get the right side, right? So you're going to see these stores that actually hold such events. Now, there are different lists for Japanese and different lists for English. And my point with all of this is if you wanted people to actually purchase these items, wouldn't you have sent them to the left side list? The reason is because not all places are going to actually have official events, right? Some people just want to sell product. They don't want to actually do anything like that, and that's what we have. But I will also say my big complaint about the official website is the fact that some of these places potentially don't exist anymore, don't actually even sell Weiss Schwarz product anymore because we all know that it is out of date, which is potentially why they sent you to the Bushi Navi in the first place. I am assuming that is why that link is down there on the ad versus the one on the left. Now you think about like all the other websites in the world. All the other websites, right? If I wanted to go eat at McDonald's, they have a store locator, which is on their official website. They don't send you to like some McDonald's eating competition on the right to figure out where you can buy product, right? That is not what's done. And that's what's the problem with this website. It is not up to date. It's missing some things. Now, if you were to use Bushi Navi with the intention that is a store locator, and I'm not saying you should, because I will tell you truthfully, I sat here one day looking through every single store on the Bushi Navi app. I did that, not even joking with you. And I went through that list and look for all the different stores that has Weiss Schwarz. I actually have a list of all of them. Ones that sell booster boxes, trial decks, play sets, single cards, and where they sell it. If they sell on TCG Player, if they sell on eBay. It was a lot of work, I will tell you. And I will. The other thing is, there's actually two of those places on the list that lead you to viruses. Not even a joke. Not even a joke. Anyways, so if you want to use Bushi Navi as a store locator instead of your official website, what's missing on here on some of these stores or sellers is the fact that they don't have a website. Some will have websites, like I put off here on the right, Card Addicts. You can see what happens on Bushi Navi. There's a blue button for a website, but there's a bunch of other ones that do not have websites, which is fine. I guess that's how they want to do it. The other thing that's missing are products and the languages that are sold. As we know, Weiss Schwarz has an English edition and Japanese edition. We need to know which is actually being sold. And like I said, this is different than actually holding events, right? Just because you hold events doesn't mean you actually sell stuff. Just because you have stuff does not for sale doesn't mean you actually hold events. Now down below, when I used Weiss Schwarz Japanese edition events, the very first one that came up, and I'm not picking on them, is Gamers and Geeks LLC, right? So as you can see here, there is no website button showing on Bushi Navi for them. So I went out onto the internet and I found gamersandgeeks.com and I matched the address. It says on the right, the search gave me 5701 Moffett Road. On the left, same actual address. The business hours are a little bit different for whatever reason. But as you see, when you go to their website and I search for Weiss, I get this. I get Spy Family Trial Deck, which is still in stock, and I have a Spy Family Meister set, which is sold out. They only have two things for Weiss Schwarz. Now, if a person, let's say, wanted to find Cardcaptor Sakura, they somehow ended up here, this led them to a dead end. right? And you can actually buy off their website. So if you click on the Weiss Schwarz Spy Family trial deck, it'll take you to a page and then you can add it to your cart. The reason why I tell you this is because it is so hard to actually get a sale, right? Anybody that has a business, unless they're selling something that's truly in trending, right? Truly trending, it's really hard to get a sale. And if you make it difficult for the customer to actually purchase or find the item, you definitely are going to lose that sale, right? You want to make it as easy as possible. So you have a person click a link, you have them fill out options that they don't really know. You get to some store which may not have a website listed right on Bushi Navi. You finally get to the website and they don't actually have the product. And I'm not saying that these folks do not have this product. Some people don't put it on their website. Maybe they sell it in store. But just think through that whole process and tell me how easy or hard that was. Will they keep trying to look for it? If they really want it, yeah. But if it's on a whim and you're making it difficult to find, then that's an actual problem. Now, one thing you could potentially do, and I say potentially, I know people are going to get pissed off when I show you this, is the Bushiroad Global Online Store, where they have in the past sold trial decks on here. You can see it right here. There was Hollow Live. You can find some other ones. They had them for English. They had them for Japanese. All that stuff is on here. Now, imagine your ad that's I'm showing on the right with the link that sends you to the Bushiroad Global Online Store. How much easier is that, right? And I'm not saying this is a real solution because there's going to be people out there that say that's really, really bad. And I totally understand why it's really, really bad because now you are directly competing with stores that have your product, and that would be bad unless there's not a lot of people on the English side that actually has it. Now, this is going to be actually somewhat of an alternative approach if you want to go this route. Again, this is not perfect. You're going to have people that are upset. You're also going to have people upset because if you go to the Weiss Schwarz Auction Center out on Facebook, what you're going to see here is a trial deck case of Licorice Recoil. If you've been a channel member, I've been talking about Licorice Recoil trial decks for the longest time, and I've been waiting to see what happens when this thing comes out for English, because as you know, the value on it is not so good. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe eventually I'm going to do a look at Licorice Recoil, the value and the cards and all that, but it is not looking very pretty when it comes to the Japanese version. If you take a look at this on Facebook, the current bid is $150, and this is set to end on February 29th. Now, when you think about it, $150 seems really, really low, but then you think about English actually coming and what's going to happen with the prices of the Japanese cards when that actually happens. So how many people are willing to actually pick up the Japanese version when you have the English actually coming out there? If you have any questions or comments about this video, feel free to write them down below. But if you feel like reaching out any other way, please let me know. All this information is in my description. But as always, have fun, be happy, don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one.